Hey, 555ers, Andrew here. This is a Wrangler Star style furious rant video. I am very upset with this, my Liberty Safe. And I'm not going to have any fancy B-roll or anything. I'm just going to talk to you straight about what's going on with Liberty Safe and why I am still frustrated about it in 2024. Now, those of you that are in the gun community probably are aware of the fact that in 2023, Liberty Safe came under a ton of fire. It was documented in a bunch of YouTube videos, Washington gun law. Of course, Brendan Herrera did a hilarious meme video, and the gun community became aware of a serious complicity situation that Liberty Safe had with the feds. And in particular, Nathan Hughes was a 34-year-old gun owner who had a Liberty Safe and was arrested and charged with a felony and 3 misdemeanors related to his presence on J6. The real problem was when the feds approached Liberty without a subpoena, without any type of legal basis, Liberty Safe just handed over Hughes codes, which my understanding was that it was a mechanical lock code that Liberty had on file. And naturally, of course, that kind of bootlicking is not well liked at all in the gun community. It isn't liked by me either. The whole point of having a safe is so that people can't get into it, especially people that would use the law to take away your possessions. Now, when this story broke, I think it was in September of 2023, there was a lot of commentary, a flurry of news stories and articles. I remember reading something in Recoil. And I remember also Liberty Safe's initial response, which was they publicly stated that they would change their policies about this. They said that they are no longer going to work with law enforcement unless there's a legal basis for it. And if you go to their website now, it does say that their policies have been revised and they're only going to work with law enforcement if they have a subpoena. But they also said, and this is kind of the interesting part here, is that they'll do it if they have the code still in their system. You could put in your safe serial number and then the codes on file for the serial number would be deleted. Now, of course, every safe, whether it has an electronic lock or a mechanical lock, is going to come with a standard issue code that then any sensible gun owner would reprogram as soon as they get home, which is, of course, what I did when I first got this safe back in 2019. The problem is, of course, especially with electronic locks, but also with mechanical locks, is sometimes there are still skeleton keys that let you into the safes no matter what. And this is something that Liberty has never fully come clean about when I've been doing research on this. So that all being said, why is this still relevant in 2024? Well, I'm going to talk about a couple things here. First of all, the fact that Liberty Safe has allowed customers to change the codes is, of course, admitting that these codes at one point existed and that they were holding on to them, and that in a way that we can never ascertain, they were cooperating with federal authorities or any law enforcement authorities without necessarily going through the normal and proper legal recourse to get that information. So that's a problem. Deleting this information at a customer's request is a step in the right direction, but of course, most Liberty Safe owners, probably you if you're here, haven't taken the steps to do that. And so it really is a half measure. And when I've gone back to look at all of the stuff that Liberty did back in 2023, it's clear that they were just in damage control mode. They were clearly making some broad statements about supporting the Second Amendment, supporting their customers, and then making what were really the most minor policy changes that could be reasonably made. Of course, they should not trade codes over unless they have a subpoena. Duh. How many people in the office have been replaced as a result of this gross violation of their agreement with customers? It's not fun to make a video like this because I know that people have come to previous videos of mine where I've recommended this safe, albeit with, you know, some reservations, and this video that I made back in 2020 is still getting lots of views, and now I have to say, you got to watch my new video, guys, because you're probably not informed. And so, has Liberty Safe done enough? No, they haven't done more than put it in the customer's hands to have the codes reversed or taken off, deleted from their database, which of course anyone that's in IT can tell you that just because something's deleted off of a database doesn't mean that it's inaccessible. The fact that they had these skeleton key type codes means that they could probably be retrieved if they're not already sitting in some government file somewhere. I have two more things that are very frustrating to me. As I did more research about this, it became clear that Liberty Safe was sold to large acquisition corporation called Monomoy Partners, and it's a private investment firm, and it was sold for $147 million in 2021 after I bought Liberty Safe, after I bought my Liberty Safe. And this Capital Partners firm, when you look it up, they're supporting the Democrats extensively. Now, of course, any corporation has the right to spend their money however they want, but as someone who is a staunch Second Amendment supporter, the ways that the Democratic Party have worked against the Second Amendment have been a deal breaker for me, absolutely, and for many people, and for other reasons beyond the Second Amendment, I'm sure. So the point is that we have now a company that not only has violated its customers' terms of service in a very grave way, it's owned by a company that isn't even committed to those values anymore. Now, of course, on Liberty's website, they've also sort of addressed this by saying we never donate to political parties. Well, the Liberty Safe company doesn't, but their holding company does. So it's pure damage control as far as I can tell. All right, the last thing that I just wanted to talk about, which is the thing that really compelled me to make this video, which is 2 weeks ago I sent an email to Liberty just letting them know that I was concerned that after those initial responses back in 2023 that Liberty hadn't gone any further to redeem themselves. And I patiently laid out what information I knew, and also asked them had they had any changes in their office around customer support, or have they had any changes around the policies that they have on their security. Have they made any changes as far as their approach to cooperating with law enforcement? For example, informing a customer that law enforcement was inquiring about that type of information, and I just haven't heard from them at all. So at this point, all I can tell you is that if you're a Liberty Safe owner and you haven't heard this, I'm really sorry, but I think Liberty's done their best to try to keep it out of the news cycle. They did damage control. Thankfully, the gun community caught it, but since the story broke, there really hasn't been a lot of follow-up. And as of now, that is February 2024, about 6 months after all this happened, I decided to just see if there was any further updates from Liberty, and there isn't any. And so, as it stands right now, I don't recommend Liberty as a company. I think you should go to Champion. There are other companies out there that are American-made that are much stronger. And if you're a Liberty Safe customer who owns a Liberty Safe and you're not aware of this, you definitely need to go on their website right now and change the codes yourself. I will not be purchasing a Liberty Safe again, and I don't recommend that you do either. That's all there to it, guys. One of these weeks I knew I had to make this video once I found out this information in the last month, and so I decided to just make a rant video. Not happy about it, but I think it's important for everyone to know, and I hope that I've made it clear that there are really quite a few layers of problems here. And if you made it this far, I have one last thing to apologize for. In the original video I made for Liberty Safe, I made the lost my guns in a boating accident joke. I will do better, guys.